Situated within the hills of Griffith Park lies an old abandoned picnic table, scrawled with graffiti and offerings left behind. This urban legend has been around for decades, involving the story of a young couple who met a tragic fate under a Halloween moon in 1976. Griffith Park, if you're unaware, is a huge park in Los Angeles that's over 4,000 acres, making it one of the largest city parks in America. There's a bunch of things you can do there, like see the observatory, there's a zoo, you can go hiking. The terrain is super rugged and can get quite remote. Apparently the best place to see the Hollywood sign is from Griffith Park. I've never been to LA, so I'm not 100% sure on that, but that is what the internet is telling me. But within Griffith Park also lies a history full of creepy tales and paranormal experiences. From hearing disembodied animals from the old LA Zoo, to seeing the ghost of the woman who had jumped to her death from the Hollywood sign. Like, apparently just the entire premises is cursed. And the one spooky story slash urban legend that we will be focusing on today is that of Picnic Table 29. Picnic Table 29 is located in a deserted area off of a trail around 2 miles from the Griffith Park Observatory off of Mount Hollywood Drive. It appears to be a bit of an elevated walk, and websites say it's going to be around a 2-hour hike. I'm not sure if that's accounting for just going up or if that's for the round trip. And honestly, if you read the directions, to me, they seem very confusing and convoluted. So if you're going to go, please be careful. Don't go by yourself. I would advise against going at night, but I mean, I can't tell you what to do. So if you decide to go and find this picnic table, please just be careful. And when you approach this area, perhaps wondering if this urban legend is actually true, you will wander upon an old picnic table with a tree lying in the middle of it, almost cutting it in half, which is a pretty terrifying sight to see of a picnic table, which is probably why it has stayed in the minds of so many people for such a long time. The table itself is covered in gifts and offerings from visitors, paranormal investigators, just whomever comes upon this table and feels inclined to leave something for the souls left behind. There are all sorts of items, from ribbons to spiritual symbols to crosses and flowers and even messages, including that of R.I.P. Rand and Nancy, written across the top of the table along with their date of death, which was October 31st, 1976. People have said that they have felt an energetic pull to this table. Lots of energy and an unsettling feeling, said to be even more prominent if you go there on Halloween night. So who were Rand and Nancy? And why were they at this particular picnic table on this particular night? The legend goes that on Halloween in 1976, a young couple by the names of Rand Garrett, who was 22 and a musician, and 20-year-old Nancy Jeanson, who was an aspiring actress, were said to have been hooking up at the picnic table when suddenly the tree beside them fell and crushed them both, killing them. Their deaths weren't huge news, it was more so just a brief announcement over the radio broadcast. After their funeral, their ashes were spread around the picnic table, leading people to believe that their ghosts still haunt the area. And first off, I would just like to say that I cannot fathom why these two people would hike for like 2 hours just to go and bang. Like, that part honestly sounds the most unrealistic to me. Apparently all attempts to remove the tree have been unsuccessful, with the first guy named Morris Carl going there just before noon on November 7th to remove the tree. And after working to clear away some of the branches and make the tree easier to take away, he was met with chills and heard strange moaning and crying sounds. Then he saw the tree violently shake, and when he ran away and got back into his vehicle, he saw the words, "Next time you die," being written on his fogged up windshield. Apparently after that, his supervisor went to go and clear the tree himself after Morris came back all freaked out, and also on a $500 bet. He went out to go and remove the tree after dark, and the next morning he was found dead by a jogger who claimed to have seen a chainsaw lying beside this man with the blade bent into a U shape. Apparently his hands were injured, some of his fingernails broken, and looked as though he had been dragged for around 15 feet, but the coroner deemed his death to have been a heart attack, though it's been thought that the man perhaps died of fright, as it's rumored that his hair was found completely white and that the paramedics had found him with such a horrified expression on his face, they thought he had seen the devil. A few years later, a former park ranger claimed that he had run into 2 ghosts. As he said, he saw 2 sets of red glowing eyes. Then his flashlight went dark, everything went quiet. Then suddenly he felt cold and heard the words, "Leave us alone," where minutes later he passed out. When he woke up, apparently his shirt was unbuttoned and scratched into his chest said, "Next time you die." So definitely not friendly ghosts over here at this picnic table. Now, really the only source that there seems to be for this story is from an article from 2006 by the LA Times, who reported on the story of Morris Carl, who gave his account on what happened when he went to try and remove the tree from the picnic table only a few days after the tree had fallen on Nancy and Rand. And for the record, I could not find any information about this couple or any pictures or really anything about them other than what was reported on in this article. The author of the article is named Norm Bates, which, as you may know, is very reminiscent to that of Norman Bates from the movie Psycho. And when you search for Norm Bates, LA Times staff writer, it's obviously going to be overshadowed with results for Norman Bates. And then, if you look closely, while the website this article comes from seems legit from first glance, the URL isn't even latimes.com. It's latirnes.com. So if you don't look too hard, it does kind of look like it says LA Times. So I'm pretty confident in saying that this whole story is most likely some kind of hoax. I'm pretty sure I'm not the first person to come to this conclusion. It was probably made up by somebody that came across this picnic table with a tree that had fallen onto it and decided to concoct this spooky urban legend. And honestly, this place is Griffith Park. It's home to claims of so many ghostly and supernatural occurrences, so it would be really easy to make up a story like this and have people not really question it. And I've seen a few paranormal investigation videos of people who go up to picnic table 29 and try to make communication with the spirits of Rand and Nancy. And there are those who believe that they have, but from what I can gather, Rand and Nancy never existed. So who are they talking to if they're actually making communication at all? But the tree and the picnic table are there, and this urban legend seems to have taken on a life of its own at this point, because it's been said that if anyone goes there today and tries to remove the tree themselves, they'll be met with a sensation as though they're being grabbed around the chest, prompting them to run away while hearing screams and laughter from the picnic table behind them. Other people claim to hear all sorts of phrases from disembodied voices such as "I love you," "I don't want to die," along with radio malfunctions, batteries dying in flashlights, and seeing shadowy figures suddenly appear and run into the woods. Of course, we will never know if these claims are 100% accurate, or if people are just wanting to get in on the action that's said to have gone down at this place in Griffith Park. And if this park is as haunted as it's said to be, then perhaps it wouldn't be too out there to wonder if other spirits have inhabited that area to mess around with travelers, thinking that they're going to speak with a couple that died under such tragic circumstances. Again, if you're going to go up this trail and search out picnic table 29 for yourself, please make sure that you know where you're going, that you have your phone charged, that you have proper shoes, lots of water. Don't go at night for safety reasons. Go with a buddy. Like, you guys aren't dumb. Just exercise some caution if you're gonna go out and hunt for some ghosties. But that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing a little bit about the urban legend of picnic table 29. Let me know if you've ever been to this picnic table or even Griffith Park in general, and if you believe that its grounds are truly haunted. But yes, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.